Ramen, the dish that's basically Japan's national comfort food, didn't actually start in Japan. The name totally Chinese. Before ramen became what we know today, there was a dish in China called Ramen elamayan, and that word, it literally means pulled noodles. Picture this. A chef takes a ball of dough, stretches it, folds it, stretches it over and over until it magically transforms into these long, perfect noodle strands. That's ramen. And Chinese cooks had been perfecting this technique for centuries. So how did ramen become ramen? Fast forward to the late 1800s and early 1900s, Chinese immigrants are setting up small restaurants in Japanese port cities, especially Yokohama, and they're serving ramen to Japanese customers. But here's the thing. Most Japanese people had never heard of this dish. They'd try to say ramen, but it just ... didn't roll off the tongue naturally. So the name slowly evolved. Ramen became ramen, and eventually ... ramen. This kind of thing happens all the time with food. Pizza, burrito, ketchup, they all changed as they crossed borders. Ramen's just another example of language bending to what feels natural to say. But here's where it gets really interesting. The name came from China. Sure, but ramen didn't become ramen until Japan got its hands on it. Those early Chinese noodle bowls in Japan were pretty basic. Light broth, some sliced pork, scallions, and those signature yellowish noodles. Simple, cheap, perfect for workers who needed a quick meal. But Japanese chefs, they didn't just copy-paste the recipe. They went wild with customization. Sapporo added miso for a rich, savory punch. Hakata created tonkatsu, that creamy, milky pork bone broth. Tokyo stuck with shoyu, a soy sauce base. These weren't random changes. They were deliberate moves to make the dish feel Japanese, to make it theirs. And you know what? It worked. Over a few decades, ramen went from being that Chinese noodle thing to being Japanese soul food. But through all those changes, that evolution, the name stuck. Because by that point, everyone already knew it as ramen. So yeah, the DNA is Chinese. But the identity, what the world now thinks of as ramen, that's 100% Japanese. Alright, let's nerd out for a second about the word itself. Why does ramen sound the way it does? Most experts agree it evolved from ramen. But some scholars think there might have been another influence, ramen, which means strained noodles in certain parts of China. As Chinese cooks interacted with Japanese customers, these terms just ... blended together. Languages do this naturally, especially at cultural crossroads. Here's the technical part. Japanese doesn't use tones like Mandarin does. So those tonal Chinese words, they get flattened out. Plus, the L sound is pretty rare in Japanese, usually shifts to an R sound. Boom, ramen becomes ramen. Problem solved. What's cool is that Japan could have renamed the dish entirely when they reinvented it, but they didn't. That borrowed name survived it, like a little reminder of where it all started. It's like how tempura comes from Portuguese, or how pan, the Japanese word for bread, comes from Spanish. Food names are time capsules of cultural mixing. Now, here's where ramen does something most foods don't do when they go global. The name ... didn't change. Think about it. Sushi sounds a bit different depending on where you are. Same with tempura, kimchi, pho, curry, but ramen. Whether you're in Manila, New York, London, or Seoul, it's still called ramen. Why did it stick so perfectly? Two big reasons. First, instant ramen. In 1958, a guy named Momofuku Ando invented instant ramen, game changer. Suddenly, people all over the world had a reason to say ramen every single day. The branding was simple, memorable, and it pushed the word into global vocabulary. Second, the word itself is just ... perfect, 2 syllables, no weird consonants. It's got this musical rhythm to it. Ramen. It's fun to say. In marketing terms, that's gold. As ramen shops exploded worldwide, nobody felt the need to rename it. The word was already iconic. From anime to memes to eating challenges, you say ramen, and everyone knows exactly what you mean. So, at this point, ramen isn't just noodles anymore. It's a cultural symbol. It represents comfort, creativity, convenience. For students, it's survival food. For chefs, it's artistic expression. For Japan, it's identity. And for the rest of us, it's pure comfort in a bowl. The fact that one simple word carries all of that weight, that shows you how powerful a name can become. Ramen tells a story of migration, adaptation, and global connection. It's proof that some of the world's best foods are born when cultures collide and blend together. So next time you slurp down a bowl of ramen, whether it's the 50-cent instant pack or a $1.20 artisan bowl, remember this: you retasting a dish that traveled across oceans, adapted through generations, and somehow kept its original name the entire journey. One word: centuries of history. That's the power of ramen. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button and subscribe for more stories about the everyday things we never think twice about. Drop a comment and tell me what food name should we investigate next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.